Okay, Schwan back here again. Today we're going to go over what is called your blank and invalids and why it matters. Your blank and invalids matter because that is the data entry system inside of RLAS, and it's how accurate your information is inside of RLAS. And if anybody actually works with RLAS, it's pretty vital and understood that the information that's in there needs to be as accurately as humanly possible, and in order to maintain that. Blank and invalid is just one of the ways, although it doesn't cover all of the ways. The standard that you're looking for on blank and invalids is remaining at least below 2% on both blanks and invalids. A lot of people don't know what they are, but we'll delve into that a little bit here in a second. So basically, we're going to turn around. We're going to take this report here. We go into our leadership reports, and what we're going to do, it's going to say data quality. Again, data quality, it's pretty self-explanatory. When we go over here to our blank and invalid summary, okay, this is going to give us a listing based off of a percentage of where we stand. There's no names here, so I don't think that there's any real issues with what's going on. This is just telling, and again, you should be below 2%. As you can see, all my units are there, with the exception over here with this 2.4%. So I got to probably get after the unit on that one. But overall, as a battalion, we're sitting at 1.3% and 1.1%. They're doing really well. Does that mean that there's not room for improvement? Of course there is, but it is what it is. They are at the standard, and I'm happy with that. So if I want to see exactly what these issues are that they're talking about in here, and again, total number of blank fields. Blank fields means that there's absolutely, positively no data in a field inside of RLAS where it should be, where there should be something listed. Let's just say there is a soldier's RCAM date is blank and there's no data in it. So there should be a date in there saying when their next RCAM is due so that they can get the award that they've rightly deserved. Going over to the total sailor invalid issues, these are invalid, means that there is information inside of the field in RLAS. However, the information is invalid. What does that mean? Just keeping it on the same plane, it means with RCAMs, it means that the date is in there, but it's past due, meaning either they didn't get the award, or that they turned around and and that award never got processed and inputted into RLAS, so now the date's invalid. Or maybe an APFT is outdated, or a height and weight is outdated, or something along those lines. So those are your invalid conditions. And again, I've never really seen units get down to be perfect on blank and invalids, but if you can keep yourself down below 2%, you're doing pretty good. Okay, so now that you've seen the summary page, and now let's go take a look at exactly what your details are. Okay, what's the problems? So we go back up to leadership reports, because again, the leadership dashboard will just give you pretty graphs of it. But the leadership reports, go into your data quality, and you'll see this is where I pulled the data blank and invalid summary in case you missed it. Now I want to go into the details. You can also pull just your blank issues, and you can pull just your invalid issues. You also have your pay per discrepancies, which is another huge issue with finance. Okay, so but for now I'm just going to stick with the blank and invalid details and summaries. We just saw the summary. Now we're going to go into the actual details of the report. Okay, so you're inside of your blank and invalid detail report, and this is what you're looking at. I really don't want to show too much below this line because I don't want to give away any units or anything like that. But to either case, what you're looking at here is all of the many issues that blanks and invalids are looking at. Some of these issues you're going to be able to fix very easily just by maybe adding or changing a date or inputting some type of data. Okay, for example, okay, we're going to look over here and look at our Army Reserve Component, Army Reserve Achievement Medal, Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal, or RCAMs. This is going to give me a listing of all my soldiers inside of RLAS whose date is blank, meaning there's no date at all. Easy fix. Should be an easy fix for anybody, for any admin person, to just go into RLAS and input a date, and there it is. Okay, and we should all know how to calculate that date. I'm not here to teach exactly how to calculate that date. Okay, so then you have your Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal Suspenses that are past due. These are your invalids, meaning that they already has a date in there, but it's past. So if we're looking for any people that are overdue for their RCAMs, you input the date. Then we come over here and we look at the citizenship status. This is that are blank and invalid. Same thing. And we go all the way across. Some of these are very, 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 very simple fixes. Civilian employment categories, things of that nature that you can just input into RLAS and get yourself under 2%, and you're going to be a lot better off, and nobody's going to bother you about blank or invalids. Height and weight, state entry, all of this stuff here. And when you initially start, it's going to be a lot of work, but once you get it done, it's pretty darn easy to maintain, because the only people that really pop up are your RCAMs, your RFRAMs, and your new soldiers that come in, particularly with this couple of different fields. You'll notice some of the fields like source MPC right here, military personnel class. This actually a lot of times come across from MEPS on new soldiers as blank. A lot of, again, religious denomination that comes across as blank. All that stuff. And like I said, the numbers are there. You click on the number that's right below here, okay, and you'll be able to see, and just to give you a preview of that, see that's what numbers look like. And you can click on any one of those numbers. They're all hyperlinked. And you could see exactly what's going on with each one of them. But that's really all blank and invalid is, and you can actually fix them. Another one of them, expiration term of service. People who's up for IRR transfer, their date's passed. Man, we really want to affect that number. We don't want people serving if they're off of their contract, right? Well, there you go. That's a easy fix there, and a way that we can we do their ETS packets and get them their orders. But that's an easy way to identify them. To either case, that's blank and invalids in a nutshell. It's really not a hard field to get back under 2% and get within standard. It's just a matter of making sure that some of your stuff that you can affect, things like religious denominations, you can find out. Call a soldier. Hey, what's your religious preference? You're keeping up with your RCAMs and your RFRAMs, making sure that everybody's home address, everybody has a home address that's in there. It's too easy to get below and maintain 2%. For units not to be there, but a lot of units aren't, and that's a shame. But it's too easy to get there. It's just a matter of talking to your soldiers and getting the blank and invalid information into the system. All right, that's blank and invalids. I hope you learned something new, and if you